Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm here with two people again.
Welcome to Street Fighter 6.
I'm gonna play as Manon, who has a weird jacket on with a gi.
I don't know Street Fighter 6 characters.
You should play Street Fighter 6. It's really fun, actually.
Okay, well, when I feel like it.
Never.
Never.
Every folks listening, just keep in mind, Jesse will say he wants to not be spoiled on something, and then 30 years will pass, and they'll say, "Don't spoil me. I'm going to play it."
Oh, and then Izzy suddenly shows up. Look at this guy.
Hello.
We're doing a podcast, Izzy.
Oh.
You want to join?
What are we talking about?
Oh, we haven't even started talking yet. He just showed up.
Yeah, I don't got anything better to be doing, so I figured, hey, what's going on? I just wanna
Yeah,
crash the party.
I was gonna bring up Pokemon clones and things like that.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah, we're talking about Pokemon.
awful they usually are. How awful they tend to be.
What, you mean like Pal World?
I mean, first off,
Awfully
let's be clear here. That is, if like the Pokemon, you can't shoot things.
Okay.
I beg to differ. You shoot them with a Pokeball.
Before anything,
Not
I think we should probably give a general explanation of what each of us think about clones, Pokemon clones. Cody, you're at the top of my list. You go first.
I don't have a lot of strong inputs on this. I almost never check Poke clones because 9 times out of 10 they usually end up being a reskin of the same mechanics.
Alright, fair. And we've definitely played some Poke clones on this channel, so I've definitely forced him to play some, or at least watch me play some.
All right, who's next?
Next is Izzy. Izzy, what do you think?
Well, as a man of simple and refined tastes, I have played very few modern Pokemon games. But I will tell you that I approve of them all very strongly, even the bad ones, because they learn how to not make further bad ones. I hope. Maybe.
You hope.
We'll see. Let's not hold me to that one.
Okay, so Izzy
Well,
believes that
that's
all bad ones are a stepping stone towards the future.
Future is now and tomorrow.
The future is
Day
now
after
with
tomorrow.
rifles of slavery.
Oh no!
Alright, next up on my list is myself. I kind of like them. I'm the type of person who will play Pokemon like every month.
You're obsessed with those clones, man.
And, to me, even if they have the same mechanics, it's just like, that's my monthly Pokemon right there. Let's play a different game. I don't care if it's the same. And sometimes you get some weird shit that's really interesting. Even if it's not always super good.
What about the ones where, even though you get something interesting, you lose a lot in other areas?
Well, that's where we get into the problems of, where it's like, man, can't wait for the sequel where people yell at them enough until they fix it. Except they're indie games, so that won't happen.
Yeah, it's more often than not in indie games. Before it,
the gameplay loop.
A big thing with it is some of that gameplay loop does need to be lost too. We got to keep that in mind. So what is worth losing?
Yeah. How much of the circle can you shave off?
Because like Nexamon, for example, feels like it has no soul to me. Like it's got a lot of designs, but like none of them are super duper interesting. The story itself is very bare. It definitely feels like, and this is where I get in where it's like Cassette Beast is an example of good.
I was about to bring up Cassette Beast. My two examples of Pokemon clones that are good, but for very different reasons, are Cassette Beast and Power World.
See, I would have used Cassette Beast in like Monster Sanctuary. Power World, I think, is
Monster Sanctuary.
I was gonna say Power World. We should probably laud as its own thing almost because it's so different from the gameplay loop of any Pokemon game.
So here's the problem
it's
with
so
that
different.
thing, though. Power World is intentionally taking the shit out of Pokemon with its stuff.
Right.
Power
but,
World wants to be compared to Pokemon.
Right. And whilst I am not only not comparing it, I'm dictating only the gameplay is vastly different, which is good because I'll be honest with you,
But I mean,
it probably wouldn't have stood out as much if
I
it was
played-
just bare bones Pokemon.
we were talking Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary plays very different too. Yeah, they're turn-based RPGs, but like the actual mechanics are very different.
Right, but the point of it is still to be an RPG, not a third-person shooter, which is Power
But Power
World's.
World's an RPG too, so
Power World's a third-person
Also
shooter.
a surviving crafting game.
Yep, so it's got a lot more aspects to it than any of these clones we're talking about. That's why I'm like, it needs to be lauded higher. Like that, there's a reason that it's above these games. Although Pokemon lets.
But then we go to Cassette Beast, which is just a good
which is
RPG.
an example of and it's a good clone. And this is an example of a good clone. But that's why I call it a clone, is because it's still just an RPG. It just does its RPG-ness better than, let's say, I was saying Nexomon or Koromon even earlier. Like anything with Mon. Honestly, most Digimon games it does better than them.
I always think
Well,
okay,
Digimon
so
community seething.
Yeah, but for good reason.
whenever
They don't
I
make them good
think
games
of a
very much.
game, I want to bring up of a game that kind of failed because it adhered too closely to Pokemon. I always think of Temtem. You guys play as Temtem?
Oh yeah, I think that them forcing you to be online was a big negative for it too. That's
one problem
that was a
I had.
bad choice.
Because this was during the time when everybody wanted MMO Pokemon, so someone made MMO
Didn't it get
Pokemon.
shut down?
It's still
Yeah,
going.
not too long ago.
I thought it
By
was
the
still
time I
going.
got around to like trying to start it, I was pretty sure it got shut down.
I played it on the channel. It was a fun enough game. But, like, I think about, like, the things that they absolutely adhere to. Like they have Pokemon that evolved by level up, right? But then they have stuff like, well, it's level up based on where you started. So they changed something that didn't need to change, but they kept a part that they should have changed.
I can agree with that. I think a big thing we need to notate here too is because Pokemon's success was attributed to, first off, growth over time, where they had a very safe landing ground to start their build from, which is the Game Boy. There wasn't that many diverse, intense games on that console
I think it was more of a well, at least in America, I think it was part of a multimedia blitz.
A multimedia blitz too is what I was going to get to as well. But I think, like, at least on the console aspect of it,
You have
You had, like,
100
the show, the early games.
Oh, hold
and
on,
you
Cody
had
was about to say something.
Words of the Coast card game,
Yeah.
which, like, yeah, no,
Anyone
and
think
definitely
of it?
that was huge.
Yeah, I was about to say they had at launch 150 marketable plushies.
Oh yeah, no,
Always?
they launched with almost every single mon, which is really weird for some of them. Who wants a Victory Bell plush? How do you make
I kind of do. I mean,
what? Why?
Shout out to the one buyer of the Kakuna plushie.
I know exactly who's buying the
Whoa, whoa,
Weeping
whoa,
Bell
whoa,
plush, and
whoa.
I don't want to
There's
talk to them.
Kakuna plushies?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
there's
just
a plushie
joke.
of every single Pokemon that has ever been made. Izzy, did you not know this?
Well, I assumed, but I didn't know they were still making Kakuna plushies.
So,
Oh man, They
in
make so much.
Japan, they have an entire chain of Pokemon centers devoted to just selling Pokemon stuff.
I mean,
Specifically,
like
the
Jesse,
plushies.
even beyond that, they have their own theme park. Like
Yeah.
they own a theme park only for Pokemon.
Look up the inside of a Pokemon center. You will see wall-to-wall plushies of Pokemon you didn't think got plushies.
Yeah, no, it's pretty ridiculous. It's like we joke and say Pikachu's the Mickey Mouse of Japan, but like he's the Mickey Mouse of Japan.
I think online you can order, like, on the Pokemon Center website, any Pokemon you want.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
Google,
yes, I
you
do.
got it. I meant the Pokemon Center in the game.
No,
Yeah, that's the one you want. Go to it. Go to
That's
it.
the one.
Izzy, go to it. It'll heal your Pokemon.
no.
for
The
free.
chain of store is actually called Pokemon Center.
Isn't it great that you
It-
never see any human hospitals in Pokemon games? I love that. That's great. Did they put me in a Pokeball and throw me in the Pokemon Center when
Oh,
I'm hurt?
that's just delightful. I love how they all look when they're organized together on a shelf.
Oh yeah.
They do a very good job of organizing like their plushie shelves in a lot of those businesses over there. Like very interesting and also very appealing to the eye. Um,
I want to be like a Solar Opposites character and just move into an image of a stock image of a store in Japan.
just hiding the
Everything
sewers
nice and
of Japan.
organized.
What are you doing down here? Oh, we're hiding from the surface dwellers.
And then you can't eat anything because you're part of the image now, and you can't ruin
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no,
That
you just gotta stand there. No, you're like, this would be great. That would be torture.
That would be awesome and terrible at the same time.
Oh man, so
Oh,
many
it would be so
emotions.
orderly, but it would also be untouchable.
The
Yep.
goal is to try to get the one guy to turn you into a GIF.
I am part of the picture.
You're trying to achieve meme gift status where you're either grabbing a Pokemon off the shelf or eating a candy bar.
What kills
Forever.
me the most is, would that be the worst piece of it? Is if you were like touching the Pokemon but you couldn't grab it really? You just had to stand there touching it.
Oh, but at least you get to feel the nice felt on the outside.
There's some Pokemon in the
True.
Build-A-Bear workshops.
True. Yeah, they do that sometimes. Build-A-Bear crosses over with everything. They're literally the Super Smash Brothers of plushies.
So if you really want to shove your ass up a Vaporeon, so
What?
your hand
What
up a
did you say?
Vaporeon's ass. Oh my god.
Jesse,
That
it's
is a
already weird enough
very
to be
cute
going in there as
Build-A-Bear
a also make it
Snorlax.
weirder.
There's a very cute.
I am
Build-A-Bear
tired,
Snorlax.
man. After we quit yesterday, I still stayed up way too late, and now I'm
Got it.
just like, ah.
Oh man. Okay.
Hold on, here's some random Reddit picture of somebody's Build-A-Bear Snorlax with the adorable pajamas.
Oh my god. I want to get back to what I was saying, where I was like, the reason that Pokemon's gameplay loop was able to be digested properly, other than the multimedia scrum they basically did, was because there wasn't that much to really compete with at the time, which was good for them. So they could build off of it. Ironically enough, did you guys? I talked to Jesse and Cody about this last night. Did you know they were actually going to quit after the second game, Izzy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to be done.
Oh yeah, because the original code for Gen 2 was an absolute shit
Well,
fest.
here's another
Oh my
fun
God.
fact
Well,
I learned
spaghetti code
a
up the
while
wazoo.
back in an interview. They mentioned the multiplayer for the original Gen 1 was added last second. The gameplay was not meant for multiplayer.
I mean, there's a reason that people.
Doesn't that make it so much better and worse at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to have friends, otherwise you can't do multiplayer. Now we're highlighted who does not have friends in the school, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great.
Literally
Love it.
last second.
This is a reason that green version is actually still studied by a lot of like video game historians, which we have those now. That's awesome to me. I love that. Video game historians. But yeah, no, green version is studied because of that. Because they're like, who wanted this? They look at the spaghetti code and the fugly monsters, and they're like, who wanted this?
I mean,
Like,
so it's interesting because like Pokemon didn't start off super big in Japan. It was just another RPG series for a little bit.
And that's why green version like didn't come over. Blue version did. Like they rebuilt it and repackaged red version, which is, God, it was such a mess of releases at start.
Oh,
And I think it's really interesting to look at that, where it's like Izzy was saying earlier, like I like the bad ones too because I want to see them learn not to do bad. Pokemon's Inception was a great example of look at green to yellow, just the first gen, and see how much they improved.
Oh, that's not all. The original Pokemon Stadium, because we got the sequel. We did not get
That's
the original
true.
Pokemon Stadium. The original Pokemon Stadium only had half the Pokemon.
That's true. That's true. We got lucky with that one as well. Green version and OG Pokemon Stadium were left over there. And these are rare instances where it was rightfully so, because Japan has also left a bunch of other games over there because they're like, you're not good enough at video games. But like this is a good example of there's not enough content to capture an American audience. and they hadn't captured the audience in general yet with like all the plushes and the anime yet at this point. That's the yellow version was inspired and crafted purely because the anime became such a success, which good idea.
Mind
Smart.
you, it exploded over here. Everybody loved Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
But then
no, it's still going on.
But then, like, the Japanese developers weren't paying attention over here. They didn't quite realize how popular it had gotten, which is what
True.
led to the whole gold version being like, "With this last time." But by that point, like, the Powder King was lit, and
Yes. I mean, the big thing to note with that as well is we definitely were a untapped market all the way through the like until the mid 90s for Japan, almost even late 90s, I would say, for not only Pokemon but like a bunch of other IPs where they just didn't want to either invest in us. I mean, famously,
I'm gonna be honest. When I look at a lot of American cartoons at the time, a lot of them were very samey.
yeah. I mean,
Which,
the art
I mean, there's
styles
some
were a
good
big
ones
thing
there,
now.
don't get me wrong, but it's the same kind of good.
I mean, I agree. I disagree. Well, no, I don't disagree. I agree mostly is what I'll say, but
Mostly.
I don't disagree with any
Obviously, there's probably a million examples that are like, oh, but back then, yeah.
of that. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think, was specifically built and was able to succeed because of the time period it was built in. It was so weird. I think it could have worked. Oh, that's not fair. It might have worked in 2010 as well, because 2010 was also an era of very interesting and out of the box styles of series animations. But like the late 80s, weirdly enough, for being so bigoted of a time, was able to handle
Okay, I
it.
just gotta circle back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Because
Yeah.
I had to double check this, because I wasn't just gonna call you out on this without getting some facts. So by the 90s, we're talking late into the quote-unquote steady increase phase of Japan's economic miracle, where they were doing exports. So I just for in the 90s here. Hold on, because I got 15% of Japan's intermediate good exports were to the U.S. 27.5% of Japan's consumer good exports were to the U.S. and 54.38% of Japan's capital goods exports were to the U.S.
Right.
So there was a lot of tapping into the American market, so to
All right,
speak.
all right, all right. Let me expound on what I meant then. I mean, like, to the point of like what it was in the 2000s, which was I'm sure it's far more than it was then.
It depends on which year in the 2000, because around 2008 with the financial crash, you have a drop from 781 billion in exports to 580 billion.
But how much of that is like
20,
Pokemon and the
200
anime
billion?
and stuff?
But like the big thing to note too is like
Hard
how
to
much of that
say.
is dependent upon an economic crash specifically, and not just like them choosing not to do it without an economic crash.
Well, that's speculation now, isn't it?
That's
I'm-
that's a
we
mess.
are
I don't think
answers
we're
in
ready
like,
to have a
oh,
conversation about. I'm gonna be honest.
I
I
wasn't
mean-
primed for this at all. I just immediately was like, wait a minute, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that wasn't true.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, it's not as much as it would have been now, or like even 10 years after that. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
But-
even like,
What do
the
you think?
2000
Sorry, hold on. What do you think, Cody, about the whole economics and imports and stuff?
I'm sorry, I'm too American for this.
We've completely lost him.
Dear
Lost the American
Lord.
market.
Okay, how about we get back to Pokemon clones? How's that sound?
Back to Pokemon.
I do think there is some good to be had from even the bad ones. I just don't like the bad ones because, man oh man, they clog up just my entire algorithm with only the ones that are Garbo. And I'll be real, nowadays that also includes Pokemon.
Ugh.
Like, their games have been very buggy in the mainline series as of late. Like, unfortunately so.
Oh, I've seen some legendary clips of how buggy some of the releases were at launch.
I want to give you an example, Izzy. Right now, if I were to jump into it, every time I play, if I start gliding from one course, like if you play Breath of the Wild, right? Does the scenery stick around?
It's hit or miss.
So if I'm playing Scarlet,
I'm
I
gonna
jump
be
from a
honest.
surface,
No Nintendo game is that well optimized.
That's not true.
Breath of the
Look,
Wild,
Mario's the most optimized series out there.
Okay, but Mario
That's
is like you're barely seeing 5 feet ahead of you. So
that's not true.
Have
So
you played Odyssey?
So going back, Breath of the Wild does not clip out your scenery if you're jumping from like even the mountaintop. I've played it, doesn't do that. But you know what? Every single time without fail does that. Scarlet, which was released last year,
Ugh.
every single time it clips it gets rid of the texture of the ground. It just disappears for miles in game. Consistent. That's one that I've had mainly. I know a lot of other people have like seen have had a black hole envelop their fucking graphics, and I'm like, that one is intense, and that would hurt my head. And I'm glad I haven't encountered that. But like, it's egregious. It's they have more money they make more money than Mario. They have their own theme park.
They make
Jesus
more money
Christ.
than any other franchise. I've said this several times on this channel. They are the
So-
franchise. They are him.
I'm just like,
Small indie company.
no, they're a small indie company. Jesse, they're a startup.
Oh yeah.
They actually had to do. Yeah, we have to fund
Small
their
indie
Kickstarter.
startup.
We have to fund their Kickstarter to help them get off the ground.
Ugh.
But no, it's like that's a perfect example too. Is like, I don't like that I have to say that Pokemon games are rough Pokemon games these days. But yeah, and the market's getting a little bit more of them than they used to too. And you know, you take the good with the bad, but like, whilst I definitely agree with Izzy saying like those bad ones
Well,
showcase what not
Okay.
to do.
so here's the thing, right? People are making a lot of these Pokemon clones because they want to, have a good Pokemon game that isn't a glitchy mess like Scarlet. The problem is they keep holding too close to Pokemon to the point that I think it's really hurting them. I was
I
mentioning
can
this
agree
with
with that.
Temtem, where there's a lot of mechanics
Some
that
of
like
them, yeah.
they just
Temtem-
shouldn't have.
Temtem is way more frustrating than that because it's literally just like,
Yeah.
oh, gee, look at us. We are so adult for doing this specific thing that Pokemon did right in their fucking dialogue.
This is where I think Pal World did a good job. They tongue-in-cheek adulted thing. They didn't just make it like, oh, look at me, I'm gory Pokemon.
Well, I think this is
They
also what
tongue-in-cheek it.
Cassette Beast does so well is that Cassette Beast does not stick to the Pokemon formula like Gospel. It just does its own thing.
It does.
Now you don't have to think about the merchant as a person at all with their own unique identity. You can just catch them and
Yeah,
catch
no,
them
no.
all.
Catch
Bring the
all
merchant
the
with you.
humans. It's literally like I used to.
You're for the minds.
Izzy, do you remember when we used to joke about like Metal Gear Solid 5 being human trafficking simulator?
It's quite literally.
This is
that,
literally a
it's
human
100%.
trafficking simulator. But like
Human
it doesn't tongue in
trafficking,
cheek.
the black marketeer.
One of the things that lives rent free in my head from Pokemon, which they shot themselves in the foot, is first off they made Gardevoir. Sorry, my friend named it Guardvard because they're obviously from Skyrim. And then Lopunny, And then they wrote an excerpt in a book from that
Gardevoir
one
is the
that
sexy ballerina dress Pokemon, right?
yes, and Lopunny is literally just Lola Bunny from Space Jam. Um, and they wrote a book in the movie in the game Lopunny came from that said humans used to bone Pokemon. Basically, they used to get married, and I'm like, this is yeah. And you're surprised, guys? Come on, you shot yourself.
Okay, well, this answers.
Okay, sorry, hold on. I do have to check
That's
because
a really interesting question.
Sorry, I do have to
Are
constantly check.
Pokemon-
Well, sorry, we're talking over each other. I do have to constantly check, not to interrupt. Cody, what do you think about the Pokemon boating situation?
No, I'm not for that.
Sorry.
Here's the question.
I know, now that there's a
Here's
extra
the question
person
about
here,
Pokemon
Cody doesn't
boating,
get to talk
okay?
as much, so I just gotta check in with him occasionally.
Here's the question about Pokeboning. Because we
Yeah,
know from the anime
God.
that some of these Pokemon are legitimately quite intelligent.
It's
Oh.
actually really creepy to think about. Like if I think about it too hard.
Well,
Like,
it's
It
weird
kinda
because,
gets into
like,
weird like enslavement lines, and then also gets into weird
I was
like
saying this yesterday.
consent lines too.
Because
Gotta
like Ditto,
you absolute fuck
Does a
up. Do we
Voltorb
have to get,
consent
do we have
to
to
use
do we
its
have to do we have to check it for do we have to check it for all multiple things has enough of an IQ for consent?
yeah,
I mean the big thing here is that poor Ditto, right? Like that poor Ditto.
that poor
Oh my
Skitty.
god.
Dear God.
Oh, well, I mean, if you first off, like I was saying earlier, they don't have human hospitals in Pokemon. I noticed. Do they have like police stations? I haven't noticed many police
Oh, it's
stations. In anything but Gen
Pokemon
7.
Sun and Moon, they had police stations. That was.
Yeah, I
know
was
this
gonna say,
concept has been explored in like other animated parodies of Pokemon, but I don't see a reason why the same technology that heals Pokemon in a Pokeball can't be used on a person in like a phone booth.
oh, that was what I was saying. Is I'm like, like, how would you dispense the healing, as it were? Like, do I need to go in a Pokeball? Like, is it specific to that machine only? Were they able to transmit it
Put a
into like?
human in a Pokeball. Those are for enslaving things.
Yeah, dude, animals only. Like Hitmonchan, you know.
Back to
not
Power
human.
World, my friend.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I really care on this topic in the anime, they had someone get hit with the red beam from a Pokeball, and that just basically acted as a taser.
What? That's so weird.
So wait,
I think
everybody's
that's
walking
a
around
god
with
or
tasers in their pocket?
Whole new level to Officer
If you
Jenny.
beam them with the return beam, then that's about it.
Okay, sometimes we do see people just beam each other with Pokeballs,
I
so.
genuinely understand sending a 10-year-old out into the world a lot better now if they're fucking. They have a Pokemon that can murder things for them, and also a taser gun.
6
True.
tasers to be precise.
Up to 6 tasers.
Yeah, and they have Do they have a limit of tasing? That's the question. Is there a charge limit?
Well,
Oh my
I mean
goodness
that depends
gracious.
on the quality. I mean that depends on the quality of ball. Now, obviously, a
Would-
net ball will do better at tasering people in the water.
So,
Or a dark ball,
I-
a dark ball will do better at tasing people at night or in caves.
So would a Master Ball work like the taser?
fusion powered?
Would a Master Ball tase somebody like the taser from Siphon Filter and set them on fire?
See, that's why there's so few of them,
Maybe,
because they're
but you
too
never
dangerous
test
to be
the Master Ball.
allowed to just anybody. So, because Master Balls can kill people.
I think it's really funny that people train for martial arts in Pokemon in a world of taser.
Okay, but did you see the way Chuck threw that boulder? Okay, I'm just saying there's something going on in the Pokemon universe that's
Jesse, Chuck's Pokemon can punch mountains away. Boulder's mitigatable.
Listen,
I'm
I have
really
this whole
stuck on
theory that because Pokemon, based on the whole marriage thing we talked about, that since humans are descended from Pokemon,
Oh,
that
no.
some humans have Pokemon powers. That's why we have psychics and shit.
Dude, Mew's actually the
That
ancestor of all
actually
people
checks.
in Pokemon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mew's actually the ancestor of all people in Pokemon. So technically, Giovanni's trying to experiment on his ancestors.
Ugh. This is all
This
weird.
is getting really
Oh,
muddy.
okay.
This is getting really
Okay,
muddy.
where's the
Pokeballs
okay?
need
Yeah,
to be
where's the legal laws on
recharged.
this one? Does anyone have the idea for knows the laws about like fucking experimenting on your elderly family?
If you
Oh,
read,
God.
I think the
if
answer
you
is don't.
like the Pokeball,
Let me look
does
that
the
up.
Pokemon inside die?
I think they just get released. I don't know. We've never seen it. We have seen somebody break a ball with the Pokemon out of it, and that just frees them, but not with them. It's still in
elder,
it.
it would fall under elder abuse. Just so you know, Cody. Just
Okay,
in case you're wondering.
okay. At least we know what the mafia charge can be then.
Okay, but like, what
Also,
about
the way
in the
they were
hypothetical situation where that elder is also an animal? Would that be animal abuse?
It would also be animal abuse. It would probably do a double whammy on this one, man.
But like,
But I'll tell
experimenting
you
on
what,
monkeys isn't illegal.
But then
We're
that goes into the
probably-
question of if a psychic type of Mewtwo's caliber can be considered an animal when it basically he is sapiens.
Alakazam is
technically
considered an
Mew's-
animal, and that thing's way smarter than most people.
Well, what I was going to say about Mew is it's a direct descendant, meaning that like unlike a monkey who's like grown separate from our genome, the Mew is the start point of it.
Does this make Mewtwo our cousin, or is he cousin Mewtwo?
That one's difficult because Mewtwo is literally a biological engineer form. Depending on the source, you can all. It's
Does
also
a clone
like,
count as my brother? What's the rule here?
God,
I'm
I don't
sorry,
know. I
did
don't
you-
think.
there's an egg group called human-like.
Yes.
Yes.
Guess which one Gardevoir belongs to?
Man, that's got to be a new one. No, most of the humanoid.
Oh no, that's been around
really
since the beginning, since Exam. I remember that one explicitly.
Yeah, Jinx and Mr. Mime belong in there because nobody loves any but them. Nobody
It's
loves
so
Jinx.
it's so funny to see Gardevoir in the amorphous section.
It looks like
That's where you get the cool slime action.
Jesse. You need to chill the fuck out. Man.
Listen, the other day when we were discussing podcast and this channel, Joey literally said to me, "Turn off your filters."
That's true. That's true.
So
I'm
this is
honestly
your
saying
fault,
most of
is
the
what
things,
I'm getting at.
I'm mostly saying most of the things I'm saying right now are meant to be in jest. I actually think that this is getting good
We're
content.
just saying things in jest. I have something.
Oh yeah,
funny to
because
bring up.
everything I've ever said was completely serious, Joey.
I have something
knew it.
very funny to bring up. So this Pokemon here is called Clobopus.
Clobbopus. Oh yeah, the new guy from Gen 8 with the little fisties.
Yeah, he's in the human-like egg group.
He's a human.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you see his evolved form, Graplock?
No,
Yeah,
but
they're
hear me
human.
out.
They box.
Hear me out. Clobopus and humans are in the same egg group. Therefore, Splatoon is in the same universe as Pokemon, but they're descendants of Clobopus and people. I said it.
So Inklings are Pokemon.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense, actually.
Well,
I'm here
technically
for it.
speaking,
Inklings are
Clobbopus
people
are an
and
octopus,
Pokemon.
so that wouldn't they be
I'm here
more
for
towards
it. What type are
Octoling?
they?
This
What type
actually
are they?
makes perfect sense if you think about it.
What type are they?
Water.
They're fighting type, actually.
Just water?
Water fighting. Well, that Clobopus is fighting type, and humans are fighting type. Therefore,
Oh my god, we have another person!
Splatoons are also fighting type,
Another one,
which is
right?
why they're weak to water.
Lux, do me a favor, run away. We're doing a podcast. We're talking about Pokemon breeding. Not the fun kind. Run.
Sorry.
Actually, we were talking about clones.
Well, no, now we're back to the human-like egg group.
Splatoon is clearly in the same universe as Pokemon because Clobopus and humans are in the same egg group. Therefore, if you human and Clobopus had kids and became the dominant species, you get Splatoon.
Izzy, the missing link is Smash Brothers.
It-
They're both in Smash Brothers.
Okay, appear to have wandered in at the wrong time. I'll talk to y'all later. Or see you never. Bye.
I swear to God. I literally explicitly made it a rule. Don't join the recording channel. It's a bunch of people are recording, Izzy. Both you and Lux.
What nonsense I've unleashed.
Why you didn't stop it?
I know, because it was
True.
still the beginning of the episode, so, you know.
Is it?
You have the power.
Well, it
You
was
have
when
the
Izzy
power.
joined, not when Lux joined.
But going back to a lot of the interesting concepts of the Pokemon world, because we already broached a lot of that. Well, I'll go back to it briefly, and if you guys want to like chime in on it, because I still had a couple more things to say about the idea of clones. And like we talked about Shin Megami Tensei and Digimon briefly, is like the big ones that people know about that are, well, not Shin Megami because that came first, but Persona and Digimon, which are the most prolific Pokemon clones. And I'm like, Izzy broached it earlier. Digimon fans don't eat well, okay? Like Digimon fans eat poorly.
Persona fans eat rarely. Yeah.
Persona
There
fans
is a
eat rarely.
Digimon fan in a neighborhood near you who is starving right now.
It's
and
true,
You
it's
can
me.
help them by making a
It's
good
me.
Digimon game.
It's me.
It's
I'm
me. I'm that
starving.
guy.
Help a
I've been
Digimon
starving since
fan
World
near you.
War. Help.
I've been starving since Cyber Sleuth, man. Help me.
I just found where the Octolings come from.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. It just makes it.
Yeah, that's
just
Graplock. That's,
works.
That's Scraplock.
yeah, that's the evolved form.
He's-
Human group. Octolings and Squidlings just come from Graplock and whatever that other guy's name is.
Slumberpuss.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It
you
just
know,
makes sense.
totally
It
facts.
just works.
Totally. What are you, Todd Howard?
Somewhere, you know, there's a new monkey Pokemon that makes ink, you know, graffiti, and somewhere in that lineage, that thing got in there.
Graffiti.
I do think there's a lot of potential from the Pokemon clones community going forward, though. Pivoting back to what I was saying, like me and Jesse had backed a couple of them that are coming in a couple of years' time that we have a lot of hope for. One, that you control the Mon in like a action RPG-esque element, which, in personal note, was what I was expecting when I first got Pokemon Red. And then another one where you actually don't have to use the Mon to fight, which is, there have been a couple games like that. I think
Like
Spectrobes
Palworld?
was one of them. Oh, similar to Pal World, but like Spectrobes would have been one of the first ones I would have indicated.
Spectrobes, you had to use the. Oh my God, she's back.
Okay, I just wanted to say that when I abruptly left earlier and said I'd never talk to you again, that was a joke. Okay, bye.
Wait. Just to be clear, though, we found out where the Octolings and Squidlings come from. It's from those two.
Yeah, I figured.
Also, Lux,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, she's back.
What the fuck is going on?
One more important question.
I clicked too soon. Okay.
Which
bye.
which Pokemon do you like? Okay.
Oh my god.
You know what? Fine. Fine. No questions.
Oh, it's a mess. Oh man.
The question won't be a
God.
mess, I assure you.
All right, you can ask the question. We can still answer.
Okay,
the
but
question.
who should I ask it to?
Ask Izzy.
Izzy. Okay, Izzy.
Yes.
Which Pokemon is your favorite Pokemon to fuck? See, I was gonna ask Lux that because it would be great out of context.
Well, obviously it's Vaporeon because.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, I guess.
Pokemon.
Guess in terms of human Pokemon companionship.
And escape this FOMO nonsense.
Oh God. Oh.
Would have been better if I asked Lux that question, but whatever.
Vaporeon said to have a lizard-like exterior, so would it technically be like doing a lizard?
No.
That depends on if it lows acid armor or not.
Yeah.
Oh God. By the way, what if it used
Have you
acid?
not read
Oh,
the copy
ow.
pasta, Joey?
No.
Okay, well, you know
Yes,
what?
sir.
Now we gotta do it. Hold on.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah,
Oh
alright.
no. Am I about to see a curse? Is that what's about to? Are you cursing me,
Oh,
Jesse?
yeah.
You
Hold on.
buttholio.
Hold on. This is very famous. Alright, you gotta read this out loud, Joey. You have to read this out loud.
Will I get canceled?
Yes. Now read it.
Oh, no.
Read it!
No.
Read it!
Oh,
Hey
give me a
guys,
sec. Give me a
did
sec.
you
Give me
know
a
that
sec.
in terms of male and female
Yes,
Pokemon
perfect. Okay,
breeding,
Izzy's got this.
Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans? Not only are they in the field egg group, which is mostly comprised of mammals, Vaporeons are on an average of 3 foot 3 inches tall and 63.9 pounds. This means that they're large enough to handle human dicks. And with their impressive base stats for HP and access to acid armor, you can be rough with one. Due to their mostly water-based biology, there is no doubt in my mind that an aroused Vaporeon would be incredibly wet. So wet that you could easily have sex with one for hours without getting sore. They can also learn the moves Attract, Baby Doll Eyes, Captivate, Charm, and Tail Whip, along with not having fur to hide nipples. So it would be incredibly easy for one to get you in the mood.
Oh God.
And their abilities of water absorb and hydration. They can easily recover from fatigue with enough
He's turning
water.
into a Vault Tech official.
No other Pokemon comes close to this level of compatibility. So, fun fact, if
Oh,
you pull
God.
out enough, you can make a Vaporeon turn white. Vaporeon is literally built
No.
for human dick.
No.
Ungodly defense stat plus high HP pool plus acid
Oh,
armor
God.
means it can take cock all day. All shapes, all sizes, and still
Oh
come
God.
for more.
There you
Oh
go.
God.
So, you
Oh
know,
my
that's why
God.
Izzy likes Vaporeon.
Dear Lord.
What are the memes?
That hurt
That's been
so
a meme
much.
on the internet for a while.
I didn't know that one. Oh my God. That's a
You
nightmare.
didn't know that one?
No,
Don't-
I don't search out people talking about fucking Pokemon.
That
Jesse.
one's been, it's
I
a
don't
copy
do that.
pasta, so people were copying and pasting it everywhere.
Yeah, don't fuck with Pokemon. Yeah, that's something you gotta know. Don't fuck with Pokemon fans. They literally know how to fuck Pokemon better than you do.
I'm sure they do. They look at. Nope.
Say it!
Yeah, if you want to
Say it.
draw some implication from stat sheets, I'm just saying.
No filter,
That's
Joey,
a hell
say
of an
it!
implication from a movie. I mean, I'll tell you what. It seems like they're trying to rationalize screwing their pets. They need to chill, dude.
Yes, welcome to the Pokemon fan
Yeah.
base. They're
Welcome
trying
to
to
what Connor West been
rationalize
dealing with for
screwing
like
their
20
pets.
years at this point.
It really makes a big difference in the sentience level of the Mon.
Ugh.
Some of them are really sentient. Some of them are just like, I like to put my
Okay, but here's the thing. There's no
I-
indications
yeah.
that Lopunny is
God.
smarter than the average animal.
No, you need to hold off. You need to hold on for a second. Izzy, you almost killed me. Okay, you need to understand right now. Okay, like I was choking, like for real.
There's very good reason why Lopunnies always hate humans immediately.
As they should, dude. They gave them ripped leggings for their mega evolution. What the fuck?
Pokemon knows what it's doing. It encourages what
Yes.
it's doing.
It's for kids. Fuck you. You're lying. Like, as I said, Gen 4 they wrote that humans and Pokemon fuck.
No, the real question is, would a Lopunny rather be trapped in the woods with a man or a bear?
They can
I
kick
mean,
the
what?
bear.
Well, I mean, that kind of
A
depends.
bear.
There's like 5 different bear species.
Well, Ursalings are a lot nicer than human males.
It really, it's a toss up, you know. On
Wait,
one hand,
Wait, now that I think about it, almost all the bears are also in the ground group too, alongside Lopunny.
True.
bear Pokemon.
I'll tell you what, though. Ursaring is a normal type, and Lopunny who learns how.
Yeah.
But what if it's that one bear from Gen 6 that's normal fighting?
Oh, you mean Pangor?
See, this
That's
this is
dark
the reason
fighting.
that
Very
we're
easily
questioning
killed.
whether or not the bear is in the same egg group as the the Vaporeon.
Remember,
See,
Whalmer and
Lopunny,
Skitty, my guys.
Excuse me.
Whale
The
and
fact we're
Skitty.
debating that is why the answer is a bear and not a man.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. The whole thing you just read, Izzy, is the reason it's a bear and not a man.
Yeah, the whole thing about Vaporeon, yeah, that thing that's stuck in my head now is pretty much the reason.
First off, acid armor doesn't help you do anything to anybody because it's acid. You know?
Acid armor, it does not sound good.
It
No,
ups
it
Vaporeon's
defense.
defense.
Yeah, I just wanted to dissolve my pain.
It would. It would dissolve most peens, I assume. Like, because it's acid.
I mean, acid armor dramatically raises defenses.
For the Vaporeon. So yeah, it probably just makes it so it's like, ow, fuck.
Yeah.
But that's the question: is it a high intensity acid, or is it an acid like wart remover acid?
Is it frozen
True, it
acid?
doesn't
Does
do-
it freeze the acid and make armor?
Well, I actually think it doesn't. Oh, I haven't seen a human try to like punch a Vaporeon when it used it. I only know that other Pokemon don't take damage when they hit one who uses it. So like it's at least not strong enough to harm a Pokemon if they come in contact. Because it doesn't spiky shield them.
Well, you know, some people would take the pain as a positive. You know that, Joey.
As I think I was hoping it was clear, I was not ever referring to them.
Just
Although maybe that was the person that wrote this message once again.
Yeah.
Specifically. He's like, I think that it makes me feel alive. And I'm like, I
Also,
wish
welcome
you
to
were
the
dead.
Derailed podcast, where we talk about the legitimacy of Pokemon taking cock for like 20 minutes.
Oh my god, that poor Skitty.
poor Skitty. Also in the
Did you
field
know
A group.
Skitty can get laid by a whale and produce eggs. Did you know that?
That's because Wailord's in the field A group.
Like, talk about like the horrors of crossbreeding certain
Dude,
like species.
It's even more horrifying when you find out that Gardevoir and Gengar can mate.
Yes. What is this? The movie? What is it? Gengar is actually Patrick Swayze. That's what this is. I figured it out. Demi Moore is playing Gardevoir, and Patrick Swayze is Gengar because Gardevoir can bone a ghost. Thing's dead.
Most
How?
ghosts are
How?
amorphous, actually, so Gardevoir can bang most ghosts, honestly.
That's so weird. What? What?
Yeah, I think she can bang a literal sentient mummy
Like,
thing.
Are us as the trainer the Whoopi Goldberg of the movie Ghost in this scenario? Is that what's happening?
I think we're actually...
We're a lot of things.
I think we're the pimp, actually.
Well, I mean, that depends. Are you a paid professional breeder or not?
I mean, if you're Brock, you're a paid professional breeder. Moral, probably not. But other than him, I can't think of many that actually do it. Usually it just happens at the daycare. And they're like, oh, they had an egg. They done fuck.
Yeah,
We were here to raise the levels of
daycare characters are always breeders, right?
They're always super old, too. That's what's really rough.
Well, they're always like, haha, we don't know how it happens. Nobody saw a thing.
I don't know if you know this, y'all, but 100% of elderly people are perverts. So this makes sense.
Especially in Japan.
You know what? Fair. You know what?
And
Very
some
fair.
of them, they want you to think they're not. They really believe that by putting on a front, that viewers, they believe by putting on a front to you that they will believe that you will believe that they are not perverts. I promise you. They'll deny it. They are 1,000% the dirtiest perverts you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Put that on the pin board right there.
Well,
You
you
can
know,
cash
the
that.
longer you live, the more dirty stuff you're filtered through. Like, you know, Joey, until like 5 minutes ago, didn't realize that thing about Vaporeon. Now he does.
Now
Yeah,
he knows
thank you.
about acid.
He was a lot younger back then, and now he's a lot older.
Yeah, no, I was like 20
Yeah.
years old 20 minutes ago.
He also knows the moves attract, baby doll eyes, captivate, charm, and tail whip.
you know, to track you over, you know?
Do.
God damn it. Pokemon fans are fucking free. Like, I'll be real, Digimon fans ain't much better because, like, I'm part of that fandom.
Oh, yeah.
With Angelomon. But to be fair, the creators of Digimon are at least honest about it and made Angelomon look the way she did on purpose. And they were like, yeah, no, we're just horny. But, like, Pokemon people are like, oh, well, it's for kids. We need to make sure it's age appropriate. And then they make Gardevoir. And then they make Lopunny. And then they make the book that said that we boned them. And I'm like, okay, fuck you guys. Please be honest.
You know, it just started with everybody wanting to fuck Misty. That was somewhat normal.
No, because she... No. Well, no.
No. Everybody was around her age at the time. It was fine then. Nowadays it's not, but back then it was fine.
I mean, I think 10-year-olds doing anything is wrong.
Yeah, but
It
as for
grosses me out.
10-year-olds.
I don't know. Either way, I never thought that would be, so I guess I missed that train too. I'm missing it seems like I missed a lot of trains. That's what I'm noticing.
You know what? Maybe you're better for it, honestly. They say ignorance is bliss. And boy, were you in bliss before, you know, that.
I'll tell you.
I understand how baby doll eyes is supposed to be desirable sexually. Because from what I can tell, it's like when somebody gives you puppy dog eyes. Because it preempts your attack. And it also lowers your attack.
Yeah.
So you'd make you want to fuck less?
Basically, from what I can tell, the baby doll size thing is a reference for ABDM.
Oh no.
Yeah, see.
Oh,
We're all
God,
learning things, are we not?
I don't
And
like
as
it.
I am learning, is that it seems that Cody's the most knowledgeable about all this.
Okay, don't you put that evil on him, Ricky Bobby.
Don't put that evil on him.
Don't do that, Ricky Bobby. Don't do that.
Yeah, like all I'm just gonna say on that is that it's amazing of what happens when you've been a Pokemon fan for a few years on YouTube and how much weird shit shows up in your feed from that alone.
You see some shit.
I delved for a moment and I
Not
immediately
unsafe
jumped
from
out.
people.
I legitimately Navy SEALs jumped out the window. Some of it. Like it was. I was like, you know what? I was curious about things, and then they tried to make me curious about other. No. Digimon's enough. Digimon is horny enough. I don't need two.
Well,
they made a
you know,
cat into
with the
a woman.
Pokemon clones, there's going to be a lot more, you know, than just two. Have you seen what was going on with Pal World? Holy smokes!
True. All we're just waiting at this point is for a Pokeclone to be an M-rated dating sim.
I mean, they've made dating sims for KFC. I wouldn't be surprised.
You missed. I did say M rating.
Oh, that probably.
That's just a mod, man.
Yeah, just put the topless mod on. That's fine. You got it. Just Skyrim that son of a bitch.
Ugh.
Serena will love you eventually. Just put the mod on.
Jesse's just like completely disgusted.
I mean, look at how much this is derailed.
This is so
Derailed.
bad. I'd never
Sometimes
meant it to get Jesse.
derailed, we derail into unexplored territory.
You know what? To be fair, Jesse, you're the one who started a lot of this train with that Vaporeon shit.
Actually, Izzy's the one who mentioned Vaporeon.
Listen, you didn't want to talk about the markets, so now we got to talk about fucking Vaporeon.
Which probably plays a lot into the market, honestly. And probably Pokemon would not be selling as well without
Obvious,
it. You got a point there.
Obviously. Played into the market, obviously. Oh my god, it was so obvious.
It was so obvious. The reason why Pokemon's the biggest franchise ever is because people want to fuck the Pokemon. There are no rules against the Pokemon, Batman.
Don't fucking say that to me.
Don't say that to me.
Don't you fucking say that to me, Jesse Davey.
There are no rules against the Pokemon, Batman.
Oh, it's so fucking
Technically,
gross.
this Pokemon is in the human egg group, but I'm afraid of it because it seems like it would be bad and sharp.
Cody.
Which one? Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be maybe it. No, I'm not. No, stop, Joe. No, nope.
God,
Not
you
not
know
for
what?
that.
You know what? How about this? You want to know what was really popular for a little bit that we could do on this channel? Pokemon Smash and Pash. Let's put that put that one on the table for later.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was gonna say you're gonna.
that.
You
I
don't
was
got
gonna say,
choice, Cody.
are you
You're
gonna
part
make
of this
this-
discussion. You're part of the Smash or Pass.
I do have a fucking choice, damn it.
All right. I mean, if you're gonna do it, we're already on the topic. I don't want to make a second video.
No.
I'm gonna be honest.
We'll be doing it in a second video. We gotta have like full visual, full.
Fucking
we got to do the whole caboodle for it.
I'm just gonna put circle alt pass on everything.
Circle alt pass.
No, we have to record. We have to. So, what we should do is all of us should be in the call, and then we open it up and share screen of Pokemon Smash or Pass. I'm gonna put the link in. And we could all do it separately, and then all of us do it on Jesse, or all of us do it collectively with Jesse's. And then, if any of us say yes, we have to say yes to it.
Okay. I don't like being told on, but yeah. Okay. It's Jesse's show.
Oh, okay. So you know what? This episode's been going on for an hour. We can end it here unless you guys want to keep going on this subject.
I need to end here at this point. I put in new headlight bulbs for my car, and I gotta test them out.
He also wants out.
Yeah. You don't need an excuse. I understand, Cody.
No, I'm actually serious. I did put new headlight bulbs.
Okay. Izzy, I hope you're glad you joined on the whim, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten myself into a pretty good obligation situation going on.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Glad to be part of this. You seemed like the only other person other than me to be happy part of this conversation.
Oh yeah, what could be unpleasant? What's bad about wanting to fuck Pokemon? I don't get it.
Yeah. Some of them are deliberately built to be hot,
Some
so
of
there's
them are
nothing wrong, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
that kids will buy their plushes, and then the parents will be like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?"
And then the parents will make holes in the plushes.
They defund the library for some reason.
Oh dear Lord.
How about you, Joey? You excited? You done with this episode?
I mean, yeah, no. If I gotta mentally prepare myself for having to.
Yeah. Oh, we'll figure out a day when we can all join in up on this. Maybe next Monday.
Maybe. Oh, Izzy, it looks like the imports from Japan started to really take off heavily, and after the thing you were saying, like after the crash had started. With,
Sorry,
a lot of
that's
the
no
anime
longer
and
that's no
Pokemon.
longer on subject,
That
Joey.
was
We can't talk about that anymore.
only a brief period from 2011 to well, that's actually imports too. That's not even exports. Here, I'm gonna show you. I'll give you a link.
Okay, well, anyways,
Yeah,
bye,
neither one
everyone.
here is it.
Bye.
Say bye, Joey. Bye, Izzy.
Bye.
There we go. Okay.